right, so we are back with Lisa Waters-Lane in the studio. She comes with her Just Garden advice for this segment. And I see a lot of beautiful flowers here in the studio. It looks gorgeous, my dear, gorgeous. They almost match your beauty.
Oh.
36 years anniversary this week. We just had a good time. We went out to watch Oppenheimer.
Yes.
The movie. Had
Very
dinner
long.
at Rosa's and just kind of make a dinner, kind of a movie and a dinner kind of thing. It was kind of fun.
I don't think we've done that since
COVID. Stupid pandemic.
Yeah.
Shut down movie theaters. Now we're back at it.
It was fun. Nice to be back in the theater.
It was. Went to Harkins out in Prescott Valley, but both are great theaters. Not putting one or the other.
No.
So anyway.
Yeah.
It's worthwhile. You want to give a movie review? There you go.
So it was a very good movie. Really enjoyed it. 3 hours is a bit long. You could have cut it down and
get the extra large popcorn. You'll need it,
but don't get the extra large drink because
you won't need it.
You gotta sit there for 3 hours.
It was entertaining, historical characters. It wasn't just about the war. It was about pre-World War II. It was about the pre-war. And Oppenheimer was the scientist that ran the Manhattan Project, which basically ended the World War II with his two bombs, Fat Boy and Little Boy, or one of those two. Anyway, they go into uranium bombs or plutonium bombs and hydrogen bombs.
They never named the bombs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They didn't.
They never mentioned the names.
And they had the pilot was going to fly them just briefly. It wasn't about the pilot or the war. It was about the program, the scientists, and how they really weren't soldiers. They were brainiacs, but they got together and it was hard to control and keep them motivated. When they quit and walked off the job, how do you motivate them to come back on the job? It was that whole characteristic of things of Alamo and New Mexico.
And how Los Alamos.
Oh, yeah.
And how they built the town so quickly.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I did not know that Robert Oppenheimer was actually from or lived or had a ranch in New Mexico. I had no idea.
So I found out why he loved New Mexico so much. So I was reading this morning. He got very sick as a child when he was like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
He got very, very sick. And at the time, that's when they sent people out west for the healing. Prescott actually had a lot
Prescott's
of
the same way.
So they ended up in New Mexico for him to help heal from being sick because he's almost invalid.
Yeah.
And so he just learned to love New Mexico after that.
That was not part of the movie. You've
not.
had Lisa add to your movie experience. You got to go see it. It's worthwhile. So anyway.
Yeah, but we'll go back to plants.
3 minutes into movie reviews. Let's go into plants.
We'll talk about something we really know something about.
I know. We're not movie critics. But we do like good movies.
We do. All right. So plants. So I would think about perennial plants, flowering plants. Those are plants that come back every season. They all seem to have their time when they look glorious out in the yard. So they're, early in the season, you have candy tuft and just different plants.
Gaillardias,
dianthus.
Columbine.
Yeah, that's a spring one. So this time of year, I brought in a few things that just look really nice this time of year. They're those mid to late summer plants that are just going to look fabulous. They're just going to bloom up until we get some hard frost.
Fabulous, darling. Fabulous.
So our first one, so this is Rudbeckia sonora, sometimes also known as the Gloriosa daisy. Just has that very bright flower with the brown centers on it. Very similar to a sunflower look.
Yeah, sort of has a sunflower, but it's more upright. Sunflowers are kind of rangy. This is much tighter, fuller, prettier.
Colors brighter on it. You're going to get more blooms out of this. It's going to be one of those deadheaded. It'll keep blooming.
Oh, look at that.
Blooming.
It does have, on the camera, you're seeing more buds underneath the flowers. So it's got waves of flowers. So this would definitely benefit from deadheading.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And if you feel the leaf, it has you can almost hear it. Has a very sandpapery leaf to it. So critters don't like that because they eat it, get stuck in their throat, and they're like, thank you. Where's the water?
On the camera, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got hair up and down the stem of the flower. Same thing with the underneath side of the leaf. So it's a protection thing this plant is using
Right.
to keep the critters from eating its flowers.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Plants are
Very
genius
smart.
if you just give them a billion years.
So that's Rudbeckia. So Rudbeckia is also, there's Denver Daisy goes under Rudbeckia. This one's Sonora. There's probably 5 or 6, probably more. They all tend to have that yellow to brown look to them, kind of different variations of that.
Is this Black-Eyed Susan? Is that another name for
That's
this?
another name.
Oh, there we go. Black-Eyed Susan.
That's another name. Glorious Daisy, Black-Eyed Susan.
This is where we
Rudbeckia.
tend to, we only speak Latin to each other in plant terms because there's only one name for a plant in Latin.
Mhm.
But as you go across the country or around the world, each community has its own common name because we don't speak Latin anymore. Going, oh, look, that's a daisy looking flower. Isn't that glorious? It's a glorious daisy. All of a sudden they got, and now your grandparents are now spreading that common
Mhm.
name. But
True.
when we're growing them at the farm level, we talk to each other. Hey, you got any more of those Rudbeckias or Gloriosa, whatever the thing is?
Right. So coneflower, otherwise known as echinacea. Does it have another name?
Yeah, coneflower.
So this one, I believe, is sombrero,
Yep. Red.
a Baja Burgundy.
Oh, okay.
So coneflowers, a lot of people remember the old-fashioned purple one.
Yeah.
And it is pretty. It's a great one. But they've really come out with some fabulous colors. They have Cheyenne Spirit, which will have multiple colors in one plant, from orange to yellow to white to pink. This one's the burgundy, so it has that real dark, rich color to it. They have some that are doubles that make the center of the flower. What are you doing?
I was showing it off to the camera, then I'm covering up your face. That was rude for a minute. If you're watching in, I'm sorry. If you're listening in, that didn't happen.
Well, the flower is prettier than me this morning. But there again, it has that real rough
Sandpapery.
leaf to it. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be bothered by the critters, the squirrels, the chipmunks, those kind of things. Another continual bloomer, birds actually love this.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the yard this morning, actually the butterflies were all over it this morning.
They
too.
can't
We
resist the
have
color.
So many butterflies this year.
It's a good butterfly year.
Yeah, I mean, they're not monarchs. We've seen 1 or 2, but lots of little butterflies floating around the yard this year. It's very nice. And bees too. But anyways, they seem to love it. Your birds are going to love it. Just a terrific little plant to put out there.
Just a quick kind of garden fact about plants like this, these summer plants. Many times they do have a thicker or textured or hairy or foliaged part of their foliage. And the reason they're doing that, it does keep critters off, but it also protects them from the sun and the wind. So it kind of helps to shade the foliage. It keeps the flowers blooming longer. So there's a lot of benefits. These plants have created over the generations to become more robust in the area in which they're growing.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
echinaceas or
Yes.
cone flowers. There's a lot more choices than just your grandmother's purple.
Right. So, and then since they loved those two so much, the growers decided, we love echinacea, we love Rudbeckia. Let's cross them
Yeah,
and
that's
see what
crazy.
we get.
Now we get into the science.
So now we have the Echinaceias, and this one is Samarina orange. Nice tall perennial.
Yes,
So
it's
this
twice
one's
as
gonna
tall as
get-
the other ones.
Yeah, so this one's going to get 18 to 24 inches tall. There again, it has that real dark center to it, like the.
Gonna
You're
beat you
doing
upside
it
the
again.
donk. Oops, sorry.
The same rough leaf. I'm not quite sure what the advantage to crossing them was, other than
Get
growers
mad
like-
scientists. They get bored in the laboratory and they want to see if they can do it. And they come
Right.
out with some things that go, cool.
Yeah.
Let's try to propagate that some more.
Mhm. Just a real pretty little summer flower that's going to take you through fall because it has a great
Yeah.
fall look to it as
Yeah.
well. So when you're ready to put those pumpkins out and your scarecrows and your other things, you could also have your flowers still growing.
It is okay to plant some more perennials in the yard, but you want to focus on the summer
Right.
varieties that are going to take you from now through autumn, which is a very long period of time.
Mhm.
And then they're also going to stay with you and provide your birds with seed in the winter. There's a lot of benefits to your summer perennials that bloom out there in the yard, and all available here at Waters Garden Center or your local garden center, wherever you're tuned in from. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back. after this.